Had a great time at the River Room. It was a beautiful night that night. Say hi.
Oh, that looks so good. Nice lighting.
Yeah. It's pretty.
It really is.
And then, unfortunately, when I got home at night, I woke up with really bad heart palpitations and had to call the ambulance. I was having heart palpitations and my heart was beating funny and out of rhythm and stuff, which I figured was a panic attack. But the doctor took a EKG and said it's could be atrial fibrillation. And these bizarre rhythm heart rate or heartbeats lasted about 5 hours, which is the longest it's ever been before. They had to have me take a shot of something. I don't remember what it was, to calm my heart rate back down. Then I went and visited a cardiologist to see the results and see if I really do have atrial fibrillation. This was me at the emergency room. As you can tell, there's quite a bit on my mind. Actually being diagnosed with a heart condition, possibly, after all these years of being afraid of having heart conditions. So there's a lot of things I had to process. The next day, I was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation by my cardiologist. So I've been doing a lot of research on it. And if left untreated, it could cause many different issues with the heart, including stroke and heart failure. So I'm at work, gonna quit smoking. And I've been saying that for years now. But really gotta do it this time. So I'll keep you updated, tell you what it's like, and maybe you'll keep me motivated. So it's been about 2 hours since I had a last cigarette, since I quit, and again. And right now I got like an app that tells me what happens to my body as time passes without smoking. And right now my blood pressure has returned to normal, so that's good. And sorry for the shaky camera. And as far as cravings, I don't really crave it much right now. But I will soon, I'm sure. So I'll keep you updated. Then I got another EKG, test my heart. Hey, I know you guys probably can't see me. Just thought I'd record. It's about 2:30 a.m. and feeling like really emotional, really scared, and really depressed at the same time, and just really hard time right now. A lot of things going through my head. I don't know if it's the new medicine that's changing the mood, on top of just the AFib and that news. Just thought I'd film it just to give you an update. It's just really hard today. But I just can't sleep. I'm trying. Just gotta work today or in the morning. And it's just, I feel like a lot of symptoms physically and also like just mentally with the depression on top of the physical symptoms that I'm feeling. I'm just being concerned about it being AFib and stuff. And what that means in terms of my overall health. And it's just my whole perspective just shifted completely, because this whole time I've been thinking it was just anxiety, and I've been treating it like I would anxiety, and I still do have anxiety, but now that I know that I have atrial fibrillation as well. It's just, it's a lot harder, because it not only is that something that I have to look out for and be mindful of, but it's also a trigger for my anxiety, because I have, you know, cardiophobia, and I have a, you know, heart complications every now and then, atrial fibrillation. That is, if I don't have it chronic AFib, which I don't think I do, because I still gotta get testing, but I'd be surprised if I had chronic AFib, because I had an echocardiogram the last time I went to the ER when I had a panic attack, and they would have seen something, if something was wrong with my heart that was causing AFib. And it's highly unlikely, at least I think it's highly unlikely, that I could develop heart damage that causes AFib within that time frame from the last time that I went to the ER. It does kind of help a little bit just talking, even though I'm just talking to the camera, just talking about how I feel. Feeling a little better already. I just took a clonazepam just because I haven't took one in a little while, which might contribute, actually probably contributes to why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. Not in terms of the depression part, but the anxiety symptoms and stuff. But I just can't shake this feeling of dread, and it's a lot. But I'm gonna try to get some rest. Gonna quit smoking. I have to. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. There's thunder. So, guess I'll tell you about the AFib that I have. So I went into, went out with a really good friend, a date night, and we're still seeing each other. She's really amazing. Her name's Kim, and we went on a date, and when I went to bed that night, woke up abruptly, and my heart was kind of beating funny, which I thought was just anxiety, like normal thing. So I went to take a clonazepam, but then I felt really, really nauseous out of the blue, and I ran to the bathroom and I threw up, and my heart rate went even crazier. It felt like a drum beat in my chest. It beat hard and it beat really fast, and it felt out of rhythm, which I've talked a few times about it in my previous videos, still smoking. So I called an ambulance. They picked me up, as you can see from the previous footage, and they did some tests, and it came back and they said I had atrial fibrillation, which is where the top chambers of my heart beats faster than the lower chambers, and they come in episodes, and there are certain triggers that could do it. Smoking is one of them. Drinking, which I did drink that night, not a whole lot, but I did have a decent amount. I was kind of scared, but not as scared as I thought I'd be with all the heart anxiety that I have. actually being diagnosed with something that actually is a heart condition. Surprisingly, it was scary, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it'd be. It's different in a sense that, like, an anxiety attack over your heart or being afraid of your own heartbeat and things like that from having cardiophobia is different than actually going through a heart episode. As a matter of fact, I was kind of cracking jokes in the emergency room saying this is like, oh, it's just like a normal thing for me type of thing, you know? But afterwards, I did get really depressed and about it, and worried about my health exponentially a lot more, because it was like, was this whole time I had AFib this entire time, or how much of it was anxiety and how much of it was AFib? And so there's just a lot of things going through my mind this past 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since it happened, and so I just like did a bunch of research on it. A lot of people say it gets worse over time. It increases your likelihood to develop things like heart disease, stroke, and cardiovascular issues. And so now I actually have something to be afraid of, which is why I've been so stressed about it. But I'm taking it a day at a time. I'm getting better, learning more about it. And there's 2 types of AFib. Essentially, AFib is, like, from what I understand so far, essentially AFib is, like I said, when your heart goes out of rhythm and it one chamber beats faster than the other. And that could happen from triggers. So things like smoking, drinking, sleep apnea, which I got tested for, and it came back negative, by the way, which I was surprised, because many times I'd stop breathing while I'm sleeping. So that's good. Things like that could trigger it. And then there's like chronic AFib, which is when you actually have something wrong with your heart itself, like either scar tissue, things like that, or just a rhythmic electrical issue that requires like shock therapy. And we're trying to rule out if it's actually my heart, so I'm going to get an echocardiogram, blood work done. I got the sleep apnea test done, and it's been weighing a lot on my mind, but I've been dealing with it better each day. And my best friend Kim, she's been helping me get through it too. We've been hanging out a lot, and she's an amazing person, and she always puts a smile on my face. Just too bad I had to go through that on that day where we're going out and having fun. But trying to quit smoking, this is like my 5th time. It's probably the hardest thing I've done so far, or trying to do. So, but I have to make major life changes. I have to start working out again. I have to take it lightly, because ironically, if you go too hard, it can trigger an AFib episode. But the good thing is I caught it early. So if I treat it, you know, it reduces the risk of me having those risk factors like heart disease and heart failure and stroke and all that.